President Trump on Monday suggested future military aid to Ukraine could be dependent on Kyiv trading its natural resources.
We're telling Ukraine they have very valuable rare earth. We want what we put up to go in terms of a guarantee. We want a guarantee. So we're looking to do a deal with Ukraine where they're going to secure what we're giving them with their rare earth and other things.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has already said he's open to such a deal. Ukraine is home to large deposits of uranium, lithium, and titanium, which can be used for defense and electronics manufacturing. David Kramer joins us now. He's the executive director of the George W. Bush Institute. It's good to see you again. When you last joined us, the Bush Institute recommended the U.S. accelerate aid to Ukraine. What do you make of President Trump suggesting this aid could become transactional?
I think it's consistent with his overall approach on foreign policy. He takes a transactional approach, as you indicate. And if this is the way to continue support for Ukraine, providing military assistance to make sure Ukraine is in a stronger position, then I would be fine with that. I think it's an innovative way of approaching the issue. Ukraine is incredibly rich in natural resources, and so this is an opportunity, I think, for a mutually beneficial relationship in which the United States would provide vital assistance to Ukraine, and Ukraine would be a potential market and resource for the United States.
Could you see this somehow having any sort of negative impact, potentially Russia, which is opposed to this idea, would potentially think that the U.S. is having an outsized role, which, to be fair, they already have expressed that. But do you see any chances of something like that backfiring?
As you indicated, Russia's put up obstacles and voiced opposition to everything we do in terms of providing support and assistance to Ukraine. This would be no different. None of this would be happening, of course, if Putin had not launched the invasion of Ukraine, starting in 2014, by the way, and then the full-scale invasion in 2022. So Russian criticism and opposition, I think, frankly, shouldn't hold much water at all.
What's your read on the current situation and what it will take to get Russia and Ukraine to the negotiating table?
Positioning Ukraine where it is in a strong position for any negotiations that might come up, not underestimating Ukrainian capabilities, and also not overestimating Putin's readiness and willingness to engage in serious negotiations. He continues to take a position that is totally unacceptable to the Ukrainian government, the Ukrainian people, starting with delegitimizing President Zelensky, making Ukraine permanently neutral, and making sure that Ukraine recognizes Russian occupation of Ukrainian territory. Those are positions that are non-starters from the Ukrainian point of view. So I think enabling the Ukrainians to be in the strongest position militarily might change Putin's calculus, but helping Ukraine on the battlefield will be an important part of this equation.
David, I have to be quick with you on this, but we do know that American policy toward foreign aid has been evolving in the second Trump term, the full extent of which is unknown as it pertains to Ukraine, both militarily, which we don't believe will be affected, and from a humanitarian standpoint. Do you have any concerns?
I think making sure that the assistance continues, the military assistance runs through the Pentagon, so that should continue on pace, and providing whatever other assistance is necessary. But also this has to be done by the Europeans. Europeans have a need to provide assistance to Ukraine. This needs to be a transatlantic effort so that the burden is shared.
David Kramer, thank you.
Thank you.